Stephanie and welcome to Book Blurbs and Blogs. Today I'm going to be talking about all the books I read in February. I'm not going to do this in any particular order, however this is one of the first books I did read in February and it is Beartown by Frederick Backman. What do I say about this book? So this book is based in a small town in a community that loves its ice hockey, not field hockey, which is what I'm used to, but ice hockey. So I already got a picture from what I was going to read just from that. Thankfully it doesn't go too technically into the ice hockey, but it does talk quite a bit about it, so that didn't thrill me, to be honest. But I'd heard so many great reviews on this book, I thought, and particularly this author, so I thought I'd give this one a try. I was disappointed. I'm sorry, I was so disappointed. I liked his writing at the very start. I think it was halfway through this book, and I just got predictable. And there was a couple of the characters in this book that I really liked, particularly, what was her name? Particularly Kira, and I also liked Amit in this story. I knew this was going to happen before I'd even read the blurb, because I thought, Hockey Town, Junior Hockey Town, there's going to be a teenage party and we know what's going to happen from there. And I knew exactly what was going to happen from there, but I just wanted to see how this was going to pan out. So when I got, it was about halfway through and it just got predictable from there, and I almost DNF'd it, and I just flicked through the remaining chapters until I got to the end. I read the final chapter at the end and it went exactly how I thought it was going to go, and I was so disappointed. It was just predictable, and like I said, I didn't mind the guy's writing, Frederick's writing, not at all, but the storyline, the plot has been done so many times. I've seen it in movies, I saw it on a show recently, just in a different format, and yeah, really disappointed, and no, did not like it. Thankfully, this is one of my birthday books actually, and I'll probably be posting this on my birthday book haul, so you're going to see it a couple of times. However, The Bass Rock by Evie Wilde was very enjoyable indeed. This is based on, it says 3 women in 3 different periods, but it's more than that. It's not really, there's quite a few characters in this book, but I guess there's 3 predominant women in this book, I suppose. It's how they're connected. I guess there was a connection in some ways. It was quite dark. I have to say it was intense, and I couldn't put this book down. I think I read it in over a weekend. I had to put it down because I needed a break from the intensity of it. Brilliantly put together, a great storyline. I don't want to talk too much about it. I think it would give too much away and give too much away of the theme. But there's a lot about how these particular women didn't have great relationships with the men in their lives, the manipulation, the misogyny. So just remember that when you're reading this book. But it's a really great book and I did enjoy it, and I liked the way she positions the stories. So all I'm going to say on it, it's a great book, highly recommend it. I think I gave it probably 4.5 stars. Then I got Ali Smith, which is Artful, which was not what I was expecting at all. It was not as good as her other book, Winter. Yeah, I gave this a 3-star. It's a celebration of literature, it's a celebration of art, artistic writing, artistic styles. There's quite a few references to other books and stories in there. Oliver Twist. It's almost like it's analysing books and themes. It's done in a it's written as though she's talking to a ghost, but is she really talking to a ghost? She likes her ghosts and books by the looks of things. I mean, this is the second one I've read of hers right now. I believe she created it based on some of the lectures that she delivered over a period of time. So yeah, it's fine. It's not great. I did like how it was presented. I think I struggled with it because I wasn't really in the mood for something like this. I thought it was going to be a bit more like her winter book. But this was a bit more factual than I was expecting, I guess. But yeah, it's, I'll probably reread this at some point so I can actually get more out of it, because you have to really concentrate to read some of her books, I think. I think if you just flick through it, you're just going to miss a lot out of it. But yeah, I didn't mind it, didn't love it, not my favourite one of Ali's, but I've got some more coming my way, so I'm going to be looking forward to reading more about her work. Anny by Max Porter. I have written a book review blog on this. This is an interesting book. Not what I was expected. February has been a funny month for me for book reading, and I haven't read as much as I did in January. I just blazed through books in January. This one I've been struggling a little bit. It just, I don't know. It's just been a funny month. Let's just say that for books. But I wanted to expand my reading and the sort of books that I do normally read compared to what I don't normally read. And this was something I would never have picked up. I just happened to see somebody reading it and they said it was excellent. So I thought, okay, I'm going to give this a go. This is a really unusual book. It's about a young family that moved from London. It's only about an hour away into the countryside. The dad's still commuting to London. The mother is a writer. Also, I think she works in the film industry as well. The son goes to school in the local area. He's considered different. He is talked by his father as being different, and when his colleagues speak about his son as being a bit out there, it annoys his father. I do remember this bit, and but his father said, I do refer to my son as being different, so it's no wonder that other people talk to me about him that way too. So he understands that it's his fault for people thinking that way about his son. There's an entity called Dead Popper Toothwort, a mythical figure that school children used to draw as a green and leafy character, hence the cover on the book. It's a way that I guess the adults use it to control their children and make them conform and make sure that they show up when they're meant to show up on time and things like that. It's a bit like having Santa Claus at the end of the year. It's a way of just getting the children to comply, I guess. But we follow Lanny and Lanny's journey along the way, and the entity as well, the entity, or Dead Popper Toothwort, because I can't remember his name very well, he listens in on people's conversations. You can see it in the way that it's written in the book, where he's listening on people's conversations, and all the words are curving around when people are talking, and eventually it turns to chaos. I don't really want to talk too much about this book because it's a very small book and it kind of packs a punch, and it doesn't take very long. It's about 200, maybe 214 pages long. It's a good read. It's different. I do think you should read it to give it a go. I think I may reread this at some point to try and get some more information out of it, some more understanding from this book, because I did enjoy it as it happens. I've also written a blog, and I'll link that in my description box below. It will give you a bit more detail about this book. I think it's much easier to write about this book because it's kind of thought-provoking than it is to talk about it. Funnily enough, particularly for me, I prefer to write things down sometimes. That's how I like to develop my thoughts. So yeah, a great book. I really enjoyed it. I'll probably give this probably a 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, I got this in the sale. I got this from Book Outlet. So yeah, why not? So another book that I got was a collection of poems. So I'm trying to read more books that are out of my comfort zone, or things that I wouldn't normally grab for, just like the Max Porter book, perhaps even the Matt Haig book. So yeah, so I got this one, and it is Shame as an Ocean I Swim Across by Mary Lambert. And it's a collection of poems by Mary. I actually got a signed copy, or an autographed copy as they put it on the sticker. It's a nice cover actually. This is raw. This is a raw poetry collection. This is not for everybody, I have to say. It's sensitive. It talks about trauma. It talks about being a woman. It talks about being overweight. It talks about being the funny overweight friend. Brilliant, I gotta say. I haven't read all of these poems yet. It's quite heavy going, and I do like to flick in and out of it, particularly a poetry collection, that is. So it's really, really good. I am enjoying the poetry collection in this, but there are some topics in here that will be trigger warnings for people, particularly on the traumatic side, really, really traumatic side. But it's a nice book to get to understand the mind of somebody who's had to deal with that situation. And finally, A Guide to Being Born by Ramona Ausubel. Hey, that's how you pronounce your last name. Again, this is another book I picked up because I'd heard it was quite good on BookTube. It is something different than I normally read. I don't usually like mythical, magical, bizarre stories, which this collection truly is. It's a sequence of stories, about 11 stories I think, and it starts off with birth, then gestation, conception and love. That's the theme of the book, as you can tell by the name of the book. I've written a blog post on this as well. It is thought-provoking in some ways. If you like bizarre stories, this might be your cup of tea. What can I say? I don't know where to start with this book. It talks about a man developing a chest of drawers. Get it? Chest? Drawers. And his wife sticks her lipstick in there. Okay, don't, it's just bizarre. There's one called Poppy Seed, which I wish I could unread. There is the very first story actually I quite liked. I didn't mind that story at all. I haven't read all of it. I don't even know if I'm going to finish this book. I just find it so bizarre, and it's so out of the sort of thing that I would read. It's surreal, it's abstract, it's just out there, but there's a beautiful tone to the stories as well. It's all, I don't know, it's unusual. Anyway, that's all my books that I've got for February that I've read. It's not been a successful month, I've got to say. Probably one of them I really, really enjoyed. Actually, no, 2 of them I probably really, really enjoyed. So yeah, that's it for now. I will be doing a birthday book haul very soon, and I can't wait to see you there. Have a great day.